Hey guys, how's it going? It's Anton Jackson. So for this video I wanted to look at some of the lesser known minor Breaking Bad cameos in Better Call Saul through the first 3 seasons. As we know, there have been some cameos in Better Call Saul of some pretty major characters in Breaking Bad which are extremely consequential to the main plot. But at the same time, the writers have managed to incorporate a few lesser known characters in Breaking Bad organically into the storyline of different characters in Better Call Saul. Here's a look at the top 5 cameo appearances from lesser known Breaking Bad characters in Better Call Saul that you may have missed. Number 5. Officer Saxton. In Season 3 of Breaking Bad in the episode IFT, Officer Saxton and his partner were called to the White residence after Skyler called the police to report that Walt had broken into their home. Skyler told Officer Saxton this information when he arrives to their house. But since Walt also owns the house, he had technically not broken any laws. Officer Saxton asked Skyler if she knew of any laws that Walt had broken in order for him to help her get Walt out of the house. Skyler, of course, knows about Walt's clandestine activities at this point involving the manufacturing of methamphetamine, but does not say anything, seemingly due to the fact that she does not want Walter Jr. to know about Walt's illegal activities. We then see Officer Saxton again in Better Call Saul in Season 2, in the episode Switch, when Price calls the police to report that his baseball cards had been stolen. This is a really great example of the writers from Better Call Saul being able to have a cameo of a minor character most people probably forgot about from Breaking Bad. Number 4. The Pediatric Nurse. In Season 4 of Breaking Bad, we first see a pediatric nurse treating Brock in the episode End Times, after Jesse rushes into the emergency room after discovering his rice and cigarette has gone missing from his pack. We interestingly see this nurse again in Better Call Saul in Season 1 in the episode Alpine Shepherd Boy, after Jamie goes to the hospital after Chuck is shot by the police with a taser. This is a really cool cameo where the writers of Better Call Saul were able to incorporate a very minor character from Breaking Bad into the plot of Better Call Saul. The nurse has no given name in the credits of either show and is just referred to as Pediatric Nurse and Nurse respectively. Number 3. Stephanie Doswell, the real estate agent. We first see Stephanie Doswell in Breaking Bad in Season 4 in the episode Open House, when Marie is going to open houses pretending to be different characters, presumably as a way to relieve her stress of dealing with Hank as he is going through his physical therapy recovery after he is shot by the cousins. Later in the same episode, Stephanie accuses Marie of being a thief and calls the police after she sees Marie making up another story about herself at an open house which she is the realtor for. We then see Stephanie Doswell again in Better Call Saul in Season 2 in the episode Inflatable, when Mike and Stacy talk with Stephanie, who is the realtor of the house that Stacy wants to buy in Albuquerque. This is another cool cameo of a minor character from Breaking Bad who was put back into the storyline of Better Call Saul. Number 2. Barry Goodman, a medical doctor employed by Gustavo Fring. We first see Dr. Goodman in Season 4 of Breaking Bad in the episode Crawl Space in a makeshift hospital set up near the Mexico-US border after Gus poisons the cartel. Dr. Goodman also tends to Mike's gunshot wounds in this scene. He initially ignores Mike even though Jesse pleads for his help. Dr. Goodman then states that Gus is the one who pays his salary. Dr. Goodman later has a conversation with Jesse in this episode which displays the fact that he knows all about Jesse's medical history. We then see Dr. Goodman again in Season 5 of Breaking Bad in the episode Live Free or Die, when he receives a phone call and tells Mike that Gustavo has died. Mike is still in Mexico at this point, with Dr. Goodman recovering from his gunshot wounds he received in Season 4. We then see an appearance from Dr. Goodman in Season 3 of Better Call Saul in the episode Sunk Costs, after Mike goes to Mexico to purchase an unknown drug, presumably cocaine, in order to enact a plan to disrupt Hector's distribution chain between Mexico and the US. This cameo displayed the fact that Dr. Goodman and Gus's business associations went all the way back to the days of Better Call Saul. Before I go to the number 1 cameo, here's an honorable mention cameo appearance in Better Call Saul. Lawson, the arms dealer from Breaking Bad. Lawson was a pretty integral character in Breaking Bad who supplied Walt with crucial guns which ended up being extremely important to the plot of Breaking Bad. We first see Lawson in Season 4 of Breaking Bad in the episode 38 Snub. In this episode, Lawson sells Walt a 38 Snub handgun after the episode where Walt, Jesse, and Mike watched Gus murder Victor. We see Lawson again in Season 5 in the episode Live Free or Die, where he sells Walt an M60 machine gun which Walt would eventually use to murder Jack Welker and his men after they steal Walt's money. We then see Lawson twice in Better Call Saul, once in the episode Gloves Off in Season 2 where he offers to sell Mike a rifle, presumably to kill Tuco with, and again in Season 2 in the episode Click, where he helps train Mike with his shot accuracy with the rifle, then gives Mike a box of bullets on the house, and then wipes the gun clean of fingerprints. Lawson is a really thought-provoking character who displays many of the morally questionable qualities of many Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul major characters. Number 1. Fran, the waiter from Loyola's Diner. Fran first appeared in Season 5 of Breaking Bad in the episode Madrigal. Fran served Mike and Lydia Rodart Quayle when they met at the diner to discuss the state of and the trustworthiness of Mike's crew of 11 men who had been arrested after the meth lab at the laundry burned down. Lydia later insinuates in the conversation her desire for Mike to dispose of the 11 men on the list she gives Mike. Fran seemed to know Mike as a regular at Loyola's diner, even though Lydia tried to act like their meeting was incidental, additionally calling Mike Dwayne in front of Fran. We see Fran emerge again in Season 2 of Better Call Saul in the episode Rebecca. At the end of this episode, after Mike enacts a wild plan to get Tuco arrested, we see Fran when Hector comes into the diner to talk with Mike in order to persuade Mike to get Tuco a lesser sentence by having Mike take the fall for the gun charge. We then see Fran again in Season 2 of Better Call Saul in the episode Nailed, having a flirtatious conversation with Mike after he rips off Hector's ice cream truck and steals the drug money from the tires. This conversation really helps to establish the origins of the strong rapport Mike and Fran displayed in Breaking Bad. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much to all the people who are watching these videos and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. My name is Anton Jackson. I'll see you guys around.